What's up, beautiful people? We can't wait to take you along with us this week as our local award-winning angler Mike from last week's episode teaches us how to fish. Next, we'll show you how we gutted them and how we fried them babies up. All right, Mike, we're going fishing today. What kind of fishing are we doing?
Absolutely. So yeah, welcome everybody. We're in the mountains of Colorado. We're going to be fishing today for trout. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up 3 poles, 2 poles as a slip bobber, and then 1 as a spinning cast. So it gives something, the fish something else to look at. So I'm going to set this pole up as a slip bobber. So there's 6 things I have in my hand. This is the actual bobber. This is the string that helps gauge the water depth that you want to fish at. So it also acts as a stopper. Hook, of course. We have a barrel swivel. So what that does is help the line not tangle up on itself underwater. We have a sinker, got to have that for a little bit of weight when you're casting out. And then we have this little bead, and that's going to make sure that this bobber, it stops when it hits this water depth finder. Okay, so we have 6 items. All right, so the first step you want to do is you want to have a little line here at the end of your pole. We're going to start with this little string water depth finder. You're going to just slip that right in there. And you're going to push this little plastic piece towards the end of the line. And so you're just going to slip that off. Now you're just left with the string. What we're going to do is just tighten it real quick. And we're just going to clean that up. So you kind of see how that's on the line itself. We're just going to snip it off. So just cleaning up the tail part. Okay. Pick that up in a moment. Don't worry, folks, I am not littering. Step 2 is you're going to want to put your little itty bitty bead at the towards the end of your line and run it up to that string water depth finder that we just put on. Okay, so there's the bead on the line, and as you can see, the bead stops where that string is right there. Okay. All right, step 3 is we're going to take our bobber and we're just going to slip it through the line. There it is. Okay. Next step is I'm going to tie on the barrel swivel at the end of this line. And again, some people don't have a barrel swivel, but I think it's nice to actually stop the bobber and also to prevent the line from tangling on itself underwater. So I'm going to tie this on. I'm not going to show you up close like what fishing knot that I'm going to tie. There's hundreds out there, honestly. I personally love the uni knot. So you can look that up if you want. But I think it's a very strong knot. It's a very reliable knot. So uni knot. So really the last few quick steps is we're going to tie a leader line onto the other end of the barrel swivel. So leader line, I'm going to use a 6-pound test string. And I'm going to do about 1 foot. That's pretty normal for a leader line. So just cut that real quick. Let's tie it on the end of our barrel swivel. Okay. And then the last 2 things is I'm going to tie on the hook. This is the little hook that I'm using here. Trying to catch the fish today and hopefully eat it.
Oh, so we got the 2 barbs on the back.
That also helps keep the bait on a little better, whether we're using power bait or we're using like live worms. So.
Okay.
All right, so we got our hook tied on, and the very last step is to put on our little sinker, because we don't want that sinker to come too close to the hook itself. So the top of the barrel swivel is going to stop that sinker from sliding up and down, which can happen when you're fishing. So make sure you get your pliers or your tools and squeeze that really tight, and then you can move that down. So there's your setup right there. Now imagine why it's called a slip bobber, not like your normal bobber that you've probably been used to growing up, like the red and white bobber where you just tie it on. The cool thing about this, like if I were to move this kind of water depth finder, this yellow string, right now, if I were to go ahead and cast this in the lake, in the water, we're looking at only maybe about 1.5 foot depth. This is where if you could imagine, this is where the water line would be, is where this like highlighted string is. So if I knew I was going to, fish a little deeper, I could move this way up the string, and now I'd be fishing at least I mean, that right there is probably at least 4.5 feet deep. I could continue to move this highlighted water depth finder up. So that's the beauty of it, right? You get to fish 7 feet, 10 feet, 15 feet if the the lake's deeper than that. But imagine hits the water, the bobber is obviously very buoyant, and it'll go up to that string, and then your hook just hangs down right here. So that's where you're fishing from. So really effective method, allows you to pretty much change your water depth on demand while you're casting and recasting. So let's go get some fish today.
Yeah, buddy. And one quick question: what kind of fish are we going for today, and how does that determine what depth we want to use? Like,
Yep.
how do we know?
Yep, absolutely. So we are going to go for good old Colorado trout. That is the fish that's very abundant in a lot of these lakes and waters. And the thing is, when we go fishing today, we're actually going kind of midday. So it's a little hotter. The sun's, really hot. So the fish might want to, kind of hide deeper in the water where it's a lot cooler. So that's the really nice thing is, fish in the morning, they like to go up and get the bait, right? But in the afternoon when it's the hottest, they might want to go and kind of hide under some rocks or some structure. So you might want to change your depth to something a little deeper, maybe even towards the bottom, maybe a foot off the bottom, so that they could go get it. So
nice.
So we're going to try to get after it today.
There we go. Let's get it.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah, we're about to load up and hit the lake.
Morsel. Let's go get it.
Yes, sir. All right.
Cool.
So take it.
Yep, loosely there.
Hold it there.
Open up the bail.
Open up the bail.
Right. I'll get to your left here so I don't get hooked.
All right.
Okay, and then pretty much right when you get to the... There it is, that's it.
Close the bail.
Close the bail, yep.
And then
you're ready to fish, and then obviously reel it in a little bit to tighten up the line.
Get the tension.
Yep. And that's good. And then you can let it just rest and sit there.
All right.
And the thing with the slip bobbers is you want to make sure that bobber comes up pretty much straight up, like right here, what we see. Because that means that, okay, it came to that water depth, that little hot yellow string.
Yep.
So, something's moving, Tommy. Something's nibbling it. Get ready for it to go down the water, and then you're going to hook it, okay? Something's taking it. Now. Set it hard. You got it? You got to set it hard.
Okay.
When you see something like that, that means something's taking it. Clearly the bobber went
under
the water.
So do you keep the tip down and then be able to go up?
Like that. Just yank it up, okay?
Okay.
So something definitely took
it.
Without it, because you see the bobber went under the water, right? Something might be nibbling that right now. Get ready for it. Go down, and then really yank it up, okay? Reel in just a little bit. Let him chase it. All right. You see that nibble? All right. Hook it. There. Oh, you got it? You got something on your line.
I got something.
Yeah, you got something.
I got something.
Fish. Yeah, you got it.
Oh, we got a little baby.
Bring him in the shore. There you go. Beautiful. Good job, Tommy.
Look at that.
And when you're handling it, you want to go ahead and but this is the string right above it. You don't ever want to use this. You always want to use a string. Great job. Hey, that's an eater.
There we go.
That's an eater, folks. I think we're gonna. Yeah, I think we're gonna
first cast out, and we got a butte. Right. I couldn't have asked for a better shot. Look at this thing.
Now, you remember how I showed you guys what the nice advantage and the purpose of a slip bobber setup is? So if you notice this little, it might be a little hard. There you go, Tommy. This little hot yellow water depth finder right there. So that's the beauty of it, is this is going to be how you determine how deep you want to fish in the lake. Okay, so if I were to just leave it right here, I mean, that's probably, what is that? You know, two foot deep. But we were already successful today by fishing about 4 to 5 feet deep. So I'm gonna move this little hot yellow string up the pole a little bit. And then when we cast, what happens is when the bobber hits the water and the line starts to sink, this bobber, because it's buoyant, starts floating up until it hits that hot yellow water depth finder. So right now we're gonna go for probably the strategy about 5 feet deep or so, 4 feet deep.
Okay.
Between 4 to 5. We got a worm on our hook. We've already caught 2 today, so let's get some more to feed everybody. So.
And the ladies are back. How did you ladies enjoy your trip?
Got it.
Whoa!
Got it. Woo! Let's go. This guy's, that's a power to him.
We got number 3 for today. And by we, I mean all of us, because this is a group concerted effort. All right, we'll keep that one. That's the last one. Look how beautiful, dude.
Look at how beautiful.
Oh my God. Wow, that's a spotted trout.
Oh, I mean, that's a rainbow trout, baby.
All right, here we are. We just got done fishing, and we're here to clean some fish up.
All right.
So Mike is going to walk us through the fish cleaning
absolutely.
process.
So we got 4 beautiful rainbow trout today. We've already got 2 cleaned up, courtesy of my girlfriend, Sonia. Love you, babe. So a couple tools that you'll need: a really sharp knife. Hopefully you have a fillet knife at home. You have a rinsing station for water, and just kind of somewhere where you want to put your fish guts. Okay, so with these trout, these are, you know, I would say stocker size, probably about 12 inches or so, as you can see in my hands. Okay, so pretty good eaters. So these aren't the type of fish that you're gonna actually like fillet, like you see, like, you know, people on TV maybe filleting salmon. We're gonna gut these fish. Okay.
And so splay them open.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our first one here. We're gonna rinse it real quick underwater.
A quick question while you're doing that: what is too small of a trout to eat? Like, how do we know if we catch a fish and we're like, this is too small, we should probably throw it back?
Well, you could kind of, if it's probably about like half this size, you can almost tell it's a baby. Like, probably best to throw it back, make sure it's alive, and you know, so it could grow up and then you could catch it later, or have some other angle to catch it. Okay, so I already rinsed this under cold water. What I'm gonna do is take my knife. I'm gonna start from the head right here. Okay, and just obviously be very careful when you're handling, you know, very sharp knives, but I kind of want to do like kind of a key thing here so I could dig into it. Okay, let's work that knife. Let the sharpness of the knife work itself. You're gonna go past that back dorsal fin. Gotta be really careful here, and you're just gonna work your way pretty much to the anus or the butt right here. Okay, so pretty clean cut. Okay, now when you are gutting fish, people, please be careful. I can't tell you the number of times that you want to rush through it, and then all of a sudden you might catch someone else's hook inside of these fish. So just be really careful, kind of like feel around before you like start, you know, pulling guts out. You want to be really careful. So
great tip.
So right now I'm kind of just looking if there's any other bait in there, again, in case there's another hook in there that you don't see or anything like that, anything foreign. But it looks pretty clean to me, so I'm just gonna grab it towards the top of the head. All this stuff, don't be scared, you're gonna get your hands dirty anyways, and just kind of pull it all out, right? Pull out as much as you can. Okay, discard that. A little water, please. Okay, excellent. Now, Tommy, do you see this like kind of black membrane here that's kind of running right in the center? Well, we need to clean that out too. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this knife, start up here, and just little gentle pressure, and just run right along that spine to open it up. You're not cutting like really, you're just cutting like, you know, to open it up. That's it.
Level.
That's it, surface level. Okay, give me a little water, please. A little more water, just keep it constant. And I'm gonna take the back of a fork and I'm gonna scrape it. You see that? How easy it's coming out?
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm gonna start either way from the all the way in the top. There's a lot of gunk there. Keep on trickling. It's constant trickle there. And I'll move it. You just keep your, yeah, keep it going. Okay, see that? Now it's getting clean. Getting clean. So fork's really nice. You could then use your hands, or if you have nails. I do not have nails, but okay. So that looks pretty darn clean right now, right? So, and if there's anything else up here, maybe like a lung or something that you could easily grab, I'm just gonna grab it, right?
All right.
Okay, and then go ahead and give me a good trickle there, Tommy. It's clean. I'll tell you when. So you just keep going. Just keep going. Clean as best as you can. See how clean that is, right? Okay, and that's it, folks. So we got
Awesome.
got a nice clean cavity in there, and we're just gonna lay it by its friends here. Okay.
All right.
So there you go, Freddie.
Our bounty. 4 little guys.
Thank you for your laugh.
All right. Let's go down the back of this thing. And then go right along that spinal cord. There we go. Get that. Get the top little split up at the head. Splay it open like a fish. All right. Bada boom. After cleaning the fish, we decided to splay them open and fry them up on a cast iron skillet. There's other cooking methods like wrapping them in an aluminum foil pouch, but I wanted to open them up and fry them to see if we can get some crispy skin going.